Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, where you join me in Kilmarnock, down in Ayrshire, where we have a small fleet of 24 Volvo B10 BLE Wright Renowns, new to the Glasgow Beltway in 1998. And these buses are still carrying their livery from their Glasgow days. They're orange and they say Glasgow on the side, if you couldn't tell. But they're also wearing the rather tired by now Landor scheme. So, you know, the story behind National Busways is they were founded in 1986. And this visual identity is rather unchanged from those days. There really isn't much difference between this livery now that you see and the livery that National Busways settled on. In fact, if we're saying it's the livery they settled on, this is the one they settled on in 1986, 1987. So, it's now 2004. The world has changed. Everything's changed, So it's time for a new image. So let's bring this into the paint shop. Import repaint. Not from capital country. I keep teasing that. I don't know when I'm going to show you all. We go to West Scotland. We go to Ayrshire. And this is National Busways New Image. It's, on the face of it, it's broadly the same kind of construction. It's a base colour, a grey skirt, with a bodyside stripe, but then it's got this going on. This, line up the back that goes through the stripe, or that goes through the skirting. Just gives it that sort of extra little bit of zhuzh, a little bit of extra modernism going on in the livery. And we have a change of typeface. We are no longer using the rather old world Clarendon. Instead we're using Futura. Futura, I feel it can go both ways. I feel like when you use it in all caps it does look a bit dated, but then when you use it with a lowercase it does look very modern indeed. And yes, we have the stripe. It goes through to the back now with an opening in the middle for the National Busways logo, which is unchanged. And rather than a National Busways service here, it says provided by National Busways back here. So, this is the new livery and the new brand for Ayrshire. So, as with Morse 2 in the South Coast series, as with Morse 2 in the South Coast series, the Ayrshire, or the new image, it takes a while to get phased in. So let's paint everyone that's in the garage right now. And these really do look the part, I have to say. That's smartened the thing right up. It looks like it belongs in 2004. So, I'm very happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. This is number 13. Paint you. Go to there, paint it. You're over there, you are 20. Get painted. Not save. Import repaint, Kilmarnock locals, yes, go. And we have 21, 22, and 24. So we'll paint you. Paint Kilmarnock locals, apply. Paint you. Import repaint, Kilmarnock locals, apply. And paint you. Import repaint, Kilmarnock locals, apply. There we go. Aren't these just gorgeous? Let's go take another candidate for a thumbnail screenshot. And another one, because they are adorable. Well, they're not adorable because they're not cute, but you know what I mean. They look lovely. with the red. My friend did say that the red that I was using for Midland Red, and I've just taken the same red and the same cream colour for the roof from Midland Red for the Ayrshire brand. He did say that looked better than the orange I'm using in Glasgow, and I have to say, as much as I do like orange, it is my channel colour. The red is nice. It's a much stronger colour. You know, it's a lot more I'm meant to be here, I think. But at the same time, orange has a bit of that going on as well. So, who am I to complain? But for now, that's all for the Renowns for now. I will get everything repainted off camera. Another thing I need to do off camera is actually repaint the buses without windows that do the 22. Because they are meant to have windows. But, yeah, no. That template is now finished, but we're not looking at that today, so I don't mind that they're not done yet. We are going to be instead looking down in Ayrshire, because you may have noticed there was another livery in the Ayrshire folder. And that is for the Volvo B7 RLE Wright Eclipse Metro. Not Metro, Wright Eclipse Urban. Which we're just going to call the Eclipse, rather than the Eclipse Urban, because it's just an Eclipse. That's, you know? Like, the Eclipse Metro is the weird one. The Eclipse Urban is the normal one. So, yes. I'm gonna go back to... Okay. I know what I'm doing this episode. I didn't need to check my notes. My notes being my DMs with that friend. But anywho. Let's get our dark colour. Copy that. And we'll build a new route. Our first route is going to be the 271 from Kilmarnock out to Darvel. Which... There we go. 271 Kilmarnock to Darvel. There we go. So let's go to Kilmarnock bus station. This looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll get all these stops renamed eventually, but this is Kilmarnock bus station, stand 4. Where all 3 routes this episode are going to start from. And the 271 is going to come out of Kilmarnock like this, then up through Hurlford and follow the 771 through Galston, Greenham, Newmilns, and terminate at the far end of Darvel up here. So, post me, if you don't mind. The 271 is now in place between Kilmarnock and Darvel. So, yes, it comes out the same way as, I can't remember which one that is, it's one of the local services that comes down here. Then it follows the 771 but making local stops, all the way out to the far end, where it uses this little turn back that I can only assume is used by buses in real life, or at least, you know, is intended to be used by buses in real life. I know buses in this area can be very patchy, so maybe it is, maybe it was, maybe it might be. Then we head into Galston. seems a shame to leave so much of Galston unserved, but really this is, you know, it's awkward. Then in to Kilmarnock, the way we came out. Duh. So this looks like it's going to take just over an hour to do a return before we put any timing points in. So hopefully we won't need too many buses. I'm thinking of running it half-hourly. And we now have a timetable for the 271. So we should only need to run... we should only need 3 buses to run the service, which means we'll probably need to buy 4. So that's fine. We will assign that to Kilmarnock and activate it later. Next on the list is the 278. So, let's get to the 278. Why is the game not happy? The game is happy, it's just put OBS in front for some reason. Love that. So this is going to be the 278, Kilmarnock to Irvine. Now, why have I called it that? Why have I called it the 278? Because it's going to go across that way. I don't know. I guess it just is. Well, this is going to be Kilmarnock Standful. And it's going to come down and around like that and just go straight. Like that. So post me, if you don't mind. And the 278 is now in place between Kilmarnock and Irvine. So, in Irvine I was sort of umming and ahhing about, do I follow the 771 all the way in making extra stops? Do I take it to the hospital? Or do I have it go this way and like in more circuitously? But I think that's better served by an Irvine town network. Whereas this is a sort of Kilmarnock based regional run. But this will certainly be busier than the 271. But again, it's going to run half-hourly, because Irvine will have a substantial town network, just as Kilmarnock does. And the timetable for the 278 is now in place between Kilmarnock and Irvine. So it runs every half hour during the week with hourly service on Sundays, which, as you can see from this little check mark down here, I have worked out to interwork with the 271. So a bus from Irvine will go in to Kilmarnock and then into work on a 271 out to Darvel. So those are two of the routes that we're doing. The next one is going to be less major. This is going to be the 288 or the 287. Actually, this is going to be the 287, not the 288. I'd originally planned it to be the 288, but I want the 288 to go to Stewarton. So this is going to be the 287, Kilmarnock to Irvine, again. But, obviously, we're going a different way. So, we're going to be starting from, where is the bus station? There it is. Stand 5 at Kilmarnock bus station. Bus station, stand 5. And we're going to go around St. Marnock's, put a waypoint, up to the telephone exchange, And then we're going to go out the way that the 88 goes to Kilmowers. Or Kilmores? I don't know. One of them. Suppose me, if you don't mind. And this is the 287 from Kilmarnock to Irvine via Cunningham Head. So this one does do a little bit of a local routing through Irvine, because this main road just didn't feel like what you would send a bus down. Maybe you'd send a bus down it to serve this estate, but there's not much along this road really. So yeah, we're sending the bus down. If you would, I'd imagine this is like an old road, and then this is like a new road built as like a bypass. So yeah, we're sending it down the old road, if that's what that is, and then terminating it in the town centre with a new stop there. So, yeah, so this is probably going to run hourly. I wouldn't make this that frequent. So yeah, this is just going to be hourly. And we now have the timetable for the 287, which, yeah, it's very simple because it only runs hourly during the day, or hourly during the week, and it runs every 90 minutes on Sundays, so that it only needs to use one bus. Although what I'm considering is bumping the frequency to every 45 minutes to make best use of the 2 buses it will need during the week. So let's do that and see how that affects things. So, 6:10, it's back into Kilmarnock at 6:46 to do 6:55. That I'm really happy with, and we can take that break down to like 5 minutes. There we go. So this route will need 2, the other routes will need 3 each, so that means 8, which means I'm going to buy, and then I've got the 288 planned, so that's going to mean we're going to buy 12 buses. Is it going to be 12, or is it going to be 16? Because I was also thinking of a 289 that could go up to Dunlop and then across to Beath. So maybe we're going to buy 16 B7 RLAs. Maybe that's something for next week, and we just buy the 10 that we need now. Let's just buy the 10 we need now. So, solo buses. Let's find... Can you find it? I can't find it. There it is. Nothing, because this is basic spec. And we're putting them in the B7L group just to separate them from the Renowns. And we'll buy the 10 that we need. So let's import. Game doesn't know what to do with itself, but this is the new standard livery. So where the other one was route branded, this one is standard livery. This is what the normal buses look like on National Busways from 2004, probably until Morse comes in 2013. I think this is very, very nice on the Eclipse. I mean, the Eclipse is just a beautiful bus anyway, so maybe this is the one that goes in the thumbnail. So, thumbnail screenshot number 1. We'll apply that. We've bought 10 buses, so let's start the game. And they are beautiful, are they not? Look at these. The scaling is different between them, but look at them. So, I'm going to get these ready for service. So the first one is going to say Kilmarnock. Actually, no, it's not. It's going to say Ayrshire. And it's going to say KM. Fleet number is going to be VW 665, I think. And this is going to be SR04 SR04, I don't know. I use J a lot off camera. PRA. There you go. And then I'll get the rest of these done in a happy little jump cut. And finally, we have SR04PRK, better known as VW674. And aren't these things just gorgeous? With the red suits the Eclipse so well. I mean, the whole livery just kind of works. I know it's my livery, but like, it just works. It's nice. And I know this wasn't a massive reveal, because my thumbnails are livery designs, or they are, you know, my thumbnails are an abstraction of the livery design, so the thumbnail was different. So yeah, very nice. So yes, that is it for new buses. Let's go and get our 3 new routes activated. The 271 Kilmarnock to Darvel, the 278 Kilmarnock to Irvine, and the 287, also Kilmarnock to Irvine. And VW665 SR04PRA is the first bus to, or the first Eclipse to leave the Kilmarnock garage for a 271. So it's going to start by running dead out to Darvel, and then it's going to work the first 271 as an inbound run from Darvel to Thingy-mabob. Kilmarnock. I'm literally looking at it. Why am I forgetting about it? Me worrying about my aging aside, yeah, we have buses that are doing things out of Kilmarnock. It is now time to follow that first 271 out from Darvel back into Kilmarnock. So, picking up a lot through Darvel, this is definitely going to take a lot of strain away from the 331? No, 37. It's not a 3, it's the 771. 371 is what I was originally going to number this route, but then I was like, ooh, that leaves a lot of spaces that I know I don't need for Hamilton. So, yeah. Although, interestingly, we left a few people at that stop there in Greenham, which is the last stop before the 771 goes non-stop again. So it's clear that people are, like, you know, expressing a preference for the faster routes. So these express routes do have a purpose. I remember it being the case that if you put in an express route, it would never do very well, because the game it worked purely based on how many things you connected, and that was how you got your passenger number. But it seems, based on that behaviour that I've just seen, that the game is actually you know, the passengers in the game are working out which is the best way to do the route they want to do, and therefore, if there is an express bus that allows them to make that route make their journey faster, they're going to pick it. So that's very nice. That's very good to see. The game's not happy, probably because it's been over an hour since I last saved it, and the game doesn't like running for a long time without having a save. So, yeah. See there, we just left 4 more people in Gulston. This is very good behaviour from the game. I wasn't expecting that. That's really nice. So, yes, what is, I guess, you know, we have our brand new livery. The future for bus liveries in the West Scotland series is that most buses will remain as Landor. You know, almost everything that currently wears a Landor livery will keep their Landor liveries for quite some time. Just like how with Morse 2, on the south coast, if you're watching that series, not everything has a Morse 2 livery. So, yeah. Right, okay. What else is there? 278. So this one is Irvine via the 771's route. So yes, not every bus will get the new livery. The older ones especially, with the exception of these renowns. But thinking about the short marshals and the other ones, what are they? The DAFs. The DAFs probably won't get it. But the more recent buses probably will. So thinking like the Geminis and the VTAs might get it. I want the Scanias to get it because I've had a really good idea for how to do the Renfrewshire Inverclyde livery with the new design that I'm really excited about. So this is Crosshouse Hospital, and now we're going all stops along the 771's route through Crosshouse and into Irvine. That 36 is 42 minutes late. That's not a good sign. It'll be interesting to see though if we start leaving people behind as we get closer to Irvine, as a 771 catches up with us. Is that bus that's just gone on the motorway south of us going to do a 287? I think it might be. And I think they leave at 22 the hour, so we're not going to stay on this all the way to the hospital. Yeah, that's going to do a run to a run via Cunningham Head. But then that's coming in, so I don't know. I'll zoom out, separate us, so that if... Yeah, there we go, there's that one going off to Cunningham Head. So now we're looking at 2. We're looking at that one going to the hospital and that one going up to Kilmarnock via Cunningham Head. And that's just coming into the hospital now. Please pull in. There we go. And then let's follow this one, which is SR04PRF. On the run to Kilmarnock via Cunningham Head. How many times have I said that in the last 5 seconds? I don't know. Too many. Speak of the devil, this is Cunningham Head. And then we have a bit of a countryside section, very nice. Very pretty, very demure, very cutesy. I promise I will never say any of those words ever again. Just kidding, I love demure, it's one of my favourite meme words of all time. Because it's like a real old word that has like a good meaning. So, yeah, no, demure is a word that I'm claiming. But we are now following, or right in front of, an 88. which is the route between Kilmarnock and the Glasgow airport, via Barhead and Paisley. But as we're coming into Kilmarnock now, I think it's time I give the game a break, because clearly it can't handle the enormity of the save. Those are our new routes: the 271 to Darvel, making all stops; the 278 to Irvine Hospital, also making all stops; and the 287 to Irvine via Cunningham Head. I was about to say also making all stops, but it doesn't follow an express route, so it doesn't really matter. But yes, 3 new routes, a new livery, new brand identity for National Busways. I think it is, National Busways are on the up and up. So let's head back to the garage. Yes, there we are. We have VW24 and VW668 on opposing ends of the screen. You can't fit both of them in. So let's just look at one of the Eclipses, because they're the new ones. They're the hot newness of this episode. As the game has another moment. Love that. I do have the shiny new PC, but City Bus Manager will City Bus manage. So yes, I think on that note, that's Task Manager, not City Bus Manager. Different kind of manager. Yes, on that note, I will see you next week from National Busways West Scotland. Bye bye.